All right, y'all know who it is. Back again, hit y'all with another video. Pals. See, and I said I'm going to hold out judgment until, we see the final product. And I'm still going to do that. However, I gotta acknowledge something here. So, we went down the roster in my last video. See, video I did a couple days ago, uh, day after the draft. I think it was Thursday. I was talking about Kira Lewis and the draft pick, and I said it wasn't all bad, and I still stick by my original point. But we have to be reasonable here. When you're a franchise like the New Orleans Pelicans, you don't have a history of winning. You don't have a history of maintaining your star players. Um, Nobody's really trying to come there. You have to get most of your power by development of your drafts um, and trades. So, as it looks, and I don't think the Pels didn't make offers to free agents, but they're not taking the Pels' money, right? So, here's the thing. If they don't take the Pels' money, the roster's going to be what it is that I mentioned the other day. Um, I don't think they're going to be competitive enough to win. 34 games might actually be giving them too much credit. They may be lower than that. But hear me out. We would be better off had we got Sadiq Bey or any of the other, descriptive players that fit the description of what I said we should be going after, instead of Kier Lewis. Again, no offense to the brother. you know, no offense to any of the guys that's drafted. Let me be clear about that. These are young men who earn the right to get drafted and play this game at a very high level in college. They earn where they are. But let's be honest here. Without there being a guarantee you're going to get a free agent, you still have to do what's best for the franchise. And they say you pick the best player on the board. I can't say that I believe Kira was the best player available. But here's the thing. Our roster would look different if we had, instead of Kira Lewis, let's just say we got Sadiq Bey. And let's just say Sadiq Bey played small forward. Now, if you remove Kira Lewis, that means you got Lonzo, Bledsoe, JJ, and Josh Hart. Those are your guards. And you could work and function with them. And even if one of them got injured, you could kind of slide somebody and make it work. If you had Sadiq Bey, for instance, you'd have Ingram, Sadiq, Zion, Melly, and then Hayes and Adams. Now, you still would need to fill out the roster with some players, that, in case somebody gets injured. But the point being, you have a more balanced roster. And I honestly would feel more comfortable with that. But the problem right now is if we don't get any other wings, I mean, that's it. And these guys are going to get meaningful minutes to develop. Zion, B.I., Lonzo, Hayes, they're going to play, maybe Kira, they're going to play a great deal of minutes to get better. But check this out. The same issue will occur next year. Plus, you got to re-sign Lonzo. Plus, you got 2 more years before Hayes, and Zion all are due for their contracts. Now, they're going to have to resign, obviously. But that don't mean that they're not looking and saying, we can't win here. So then what? You get all these picks and shit, and you may be able to make a trade here or there. And the Pels will probably get better just off the strength of Lonzo, Zion, and Bi because they'll be better and be older. And some of the other guys like KD and LeBron will be out the league or phasing out the league. Um, so you'll have that, but the problem still remains. Unless you're a title contender, you're not going anywhere. And there's nothing that's stopping any of those guys when they get their second contracts to say, hey, I want to be traded. I'm not saying they have to go for a championship today. I'm not saying they have to be in title contention today. But your roster has to be like, here's the thing. The Lakers roster, you look at the roster and then you sit there. We'll just take the starting five. Projected to be LeBron, KCP, Montrez, AD, and then you could say either JaVale or because you basically could put LeBron at point guard and AD at small forward or something. You can put Trez at power forward. Then you could say, or JaVale be the center, or you can insert KCP at the two guard, whatnot, or what have you. Or you could start Schroeder. But either way, they got variable lineups because of the versatility they have, right? Who flat out has a better roster, at least starting five, than the Lakers right now? You see what I'm saying? Now, there's some rosters that can contend with them. For instance, the Hawks have a nice roster. Are they better top to bottom? Absolutely not. But I think the strength of them is going to be their bench and their second unit because they're going to basically have a bench that should be a starting five somewhere in the league. So you got the Golden State Warriors whose starting five is going to be strong. You got teams with strong starting lineups. The Pels are going to have to roll out Zoe and either Nall Hart or JJ. Maybe they might even opt to put Bledsoe there. I don't know. But there's a question mark at two guard right now. We don't know what Stan's going to, how he's going to operate this or make this work. Then you got B.I., Zion, and then Steven Adams, right? How many rosters have a better starting five than we do? Now, you're going to sit there and say, Lonzo, B.I., Zion, and Steven Adams is pretty fucking good. Just them four alone is pretty good. I agree. They are pretty good. But do they beat Golden State starting five? Not collectively. The Lakers, no. The Clippers, no. Phoenix, no. Dallas with healthy KP, no. Brooklyn, no. Milwaukee, no. I might have to say that the Hawks have a better start five than us, to be honest. And it's kind of hard for me to separate the Hawks starting five because their bench is loaded. Denver, with the exception of the two teams in the East I named, like most of those teams in the West, like Utah, like their starting fives are phenomenal. And even if the Lakers transcend everybody as far as like their starting five, the other ones you could sit there and see some very winnable matchups. Like it's very hard to exploit the Lakers. If they wanted to play small, they could play AD at the 5, LeBron at the 4, Schroeder at 1, KCP. Or they can play Montrez at center, or they can play him at power forward, let LeBron play small forward. Regardless, they got versatility. What can the Pelicans do to match up with these teams? What the fuck can they do? At least if we had Sadiq, we could maybe say, okay, for a team that may want to play small, like, say, the Warriors, we could run Zion at center, B.I. power forward, Sadiq, Josh Hart or no, and Lonzo. Right now, you're going to have to try out Hayes or Steven Adams, either, like, no matter what. You could opt to say, okay, we'll put Melly in, but now you don't have a power forward to come in when they get tired. So you're going to end up with like 4 guards in the center. 4 guards in the center, guess what? Lakers going to eat that up. Milwaukee going to eat that up. Brooklyn going to eat that up. All these teams, see, you don't have the ability to go toe-to-toe with the competitive teams. You just don't. And nobody is taking the Pels' money. Charlotte got motherfucking Gordon Hayward. $120 fucking million. Charlotte can't draft worth the damn Charlotte. Ain't been in the playoffs since fucking who knows when Charlotte. Just got LaMelo Ball. And then got Gordon Hayward. Yes, our guys are going to get experience and they will get better. I will say this, for Lonzo and Zion and B.I., this is their opportunity to break out. And I know that B.I. is going to already have signed for his contract by then, but I think you will get the bonus for being like first, second, third team. This is an opportunity for them, specifically Lonzo, to get his money, but also for all of them to get their money and make their name. Like, at this point, I don't see how you don't run those guys 36 to 40 minutes a night. Almost. With the exception of Zoe, because you got enough depth there to play off of him. Maybe B.I. But Zion is going to end up playing huge minutes. Hayes is going to get some minutes now. You know, so this is going to be great for those guys to develop. They're going to spend time getting better. And I'm going to tell you this, even with Drew Holiday, this team would still not be better. I mean, they'd be a stronger starting 5. Don't get me wrong. They'd be a better starting 5 than we have now. But they still wouldn't be better than the other teams out there. And you could talk about, oh, well, we had, Favors in them last year, and they had to have. I don't want to hear that shit. That was last year. Golden State is healthy for the most part now. And better. Athletic. They'll be able to run the court with us. Phoenix is better. Portland, better. These are the teams you got to compete with. And you're going to say, okay, well then, B.I., Lonzo, and Zion got to put up or shut up. Okay, fair enough. But there's only so much dragging a young team can do in the league. I don't care what the fuck you say. 7-game series, they're not dragging against the Lakers. They're not dragging against the Clippers. They're not dragging against the Denver Nuggets. They're not dragging against Utah. They're not dragging against Golden State. They're not dragging against the Portland Trail Blazers. And they're not dragging against the Dallas Mavericks. I am sorry. They do not have the requisite parts. And you would end up having to play B.I., Zion, and Zoe almost 40 minutes a game to even give yourselves a shot. at a high pace. You're not going to beat these teams with just these three guys. They are too young and do not have enough experience. The difference is with, say, the Hawks. The Hawks may not have the total experience, but they're in a weaker East. The competition is lesser. Will they drag? Probably not. But you got Rondo, who's a vet. He can control the game. He can dictate how the game is played. You don't have that in New Orleans. You just don't. And so we sit here, we drafted Kira. What we really needed was an athletic 3-and-D wing that can flex between small forward and power forward. And he can knock down open shots. 4 years in college, at senior age, 22, maybe 23, plug and play immediately. That was the draft. That is what you needed. That is what the hell you needed. But we got Kira Lewis. And again, no disrespect. No disrespect. But who the fuck is going to take the Pels money? We've been sitting here waiting. Free agency started Friday. We are on Sunday. I keep popping up Milwaukee. Detroit was busy the first day. Golden State is still making moves. Every day the Lakers are in play for another piece. Another fucking piece. The Clippers started getting busy the other night. They got Serge Ibaka. Freaking Portland got some pieces. Miami got some pieces and they were just in the finals. But the teams that want to win are making plays. They're getting what they needed. The Lakers got younger so they could run. They got rid of some of their old vets. They wanted to get younger. The only old players they really have right now is, if I'm not mistaken, that we're going to see the floor are LeBron and JaVale. That's it that I can think of. Everybody else is younger. Schroeder's younger. KCP's in his 20s. AD's still in his 20s, obviously. Like, they're younger. They don't have Rondo on the roster this year. Danny Green. They got younger. Again, I'm still holding out to see what the final product looks like. And I will give my complete verdict then. But this is why, when you're a small market team, you don't just draft the best player available at times. Especially when you have talent already on the roster. You draft for need. You should have drafted for need, pals. I don't care how much you like Kira. Should have drafted for need. It is what it is. Like the Steven Adams pickup. But again, nobody's going to take your fucking money. Steven Adams is on a 1-year deal. Hopefully Jackson Hayes will be ready to assume leadership position of that center spot next year. Because he should be in year 3. He should be serviceable as the starter from that point forward. If he don't have a jump shot by then, we got a problem. He should be in there with Fred Vincent every day working on that jumper. So that way you don't have to worry about, we need a stretch 5. Jackson Hayes should be able to hit 34-35% from 3. If we're going to develop this year, then goddammit, they better develop. I don't want to hear shit about Zion still can't hit jump shots. I don't want to hear shit about Lonzo can't hit jump shots. I don't want to hear shit about Bi and Zion can't defend. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. If this is the way we're going, they better be getting better. Like we better progressively be able to look at each 10 game slant and say, okay, are they better from the last 10 games? Okay. Obviously, we can't do that with the first 10 games. We'll have to be like, okay, this is what they look like in the beginning. What do they look like now? Next 10 games, what do they look like? There should be market improvement. Even if they don't win, we should be able to look there and say, they're getting better. They're getting better. They should all be trending up. If they're not trending up, you have a problem. A serious problem. And it won't be a Lonzo Ball issue. It's going to be a New Orleans Pelicans issue. B.I. has shown you he can be an all-star. And we still expect him to take it up a notch. But even if he don't, that's fine. The main thing we need from him is defense. He can stay at 23 a game, but he needs defense. Lonzo has to get better offensively. There's no more, oh, they're going to sag off some games. They're going to wait and see. No, 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 no. Lonzo needs to be taking people off the dribble, hitting jumpers. He needs to be finishing at the rim. There's no excuse now. You got a pick setter. He's got the space to be able to attack off the high pick and roll. He should be like this year. No excuses. Zion Williamson. I get it. He was hurt. He's lost weight. I need to see jump shots. I need to see mid ranges. I need to see post play. I need to see defense. I'm not saying he has to be an expert, but he needs to be at least average. He needs to be able to hold his man. I need to see that synergy. Because if we're going to draft Kira Lewis and we're going to grow as a team, we're going to have to take L's. Understand this, people. With this roster as it currently is, you're going to have to take an L. But every L needs to be a development L. It don't need to be, oh, they get blown out by 40. Like what happened in the bubble. When they gave up. When they're frustrated. When the only two people who ran back to stop a steal or a turnover was Jrue Holiday and Lonzo Ball. And they looked back and realized that nobody else took off other than them. And they just hung their heads. And they looked defeated. For whatever reason. That can't be the standard this year. If we're drafting a Kira Lewis, which means we've settled for defeat already, then they need to grow. It's your boy Jay Strokes. Peace.